At this time, please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
You're watching the Mid-American Conference on ESPN. We're still 6 days away from the MAC championships, but this one's already got a postseason feel to it. The two best in the MAC, Ball State and Western Michigan, competing for a regular season title on the last day of the season. We welcome you inside Worthen Arena. Aaron Jessup and Noah Reed with you. Hey, the top 36 teams in the country all make it to regionals, and as of right now, Ball State and Western Michigan both in, but right on the cusp, Aaron, so pretty obvious to say, really important weekend for both.
Yeah, for sure. As long as both of these teams come out and do exactly what they've done all season, they can pretty much lock themselves into that position and to go into regionals. But like you said, tonight too, they're also competing for a regular season conference championship, so we'll see how today goes.
Well, Western Michigan has arguably the best all-arounder in the MAC, Peyton Murphy, who's coming off the program's all-time record in the all-arounds.
Yeah, Peyton Murphy, like you said, she is the best all-around athlete that Western Michigan has had up to now, where, like you said, she posted that career high of 39.55 on that all-around, where she just stands out on every single event where she comes out on in these competitions.
Ball State on the other side is led by Megan Teeter, who's been phenomenal on bars and floor this year.
Yeah, Megan Teeter's a senior. She's coming in. She's, like you said, she's currently 4th in the MAC on bars and tied 6th on floor, but where she's coming in, she's showing off on vault as well. But on top of being an athlete here, she's also a student where she was announced to be top 50 students here at Ball State as well this year.
Well, we are set up for a great one inside Worthen Arena today between Ball State and Western Michigan. They're just about a minute away from rotation 1, where Ball State starts on the vault. Here's the lineup of the 6 gymnasts going on vault, including the last one, Victoria Henry, the only first-place finish at Missouri on Friday night in the quad meet.
Yeah, she came in, she did solid with this Yurchenko 1.5 that she does, which is it has a 10-0 start value, which between her and Suki Fisher, she's the two only gymnasts for Ball State that's putting up as 10-0 start value vault for this lineup.
And on the other side for Western Michigan, Broncos starting on the bars, and they've got one of the best bars lineups in the entire MAC, starting with Abby Singh, but all the way across. There's 3 gymnasts all competing in the all-around today for Western Michigan, and a chance for the Broncos today to at least tie for a Mid-American Conference championship.
Yeah, these Broncos, they've had a solid season, and like you said, top on bars, so this first event is going to be really solid. It's going to be a nice setup for both Ball State and Western to get this meet going for this regular season conference.
Western Michigan has the top score on the bars this year. Ball State has the second best on the vault, so 2 really strong rotations to start for Joanna Salim's Cardinals and Penny Jernigan's Broncos.
Rotation 1, Ball State will be on vault and Western Michigan on bars.
2 best teams in the MAC regular season finale. Ball State can clinch the outright title themselves with a win today in the MAC. Western Michigan trying to tie for first place with this Ball State team with a win today before the MAC championships just 6 days from now. This is Leah White, the freshman from Las Vegas. The only event she competes on is the vault.
There's a beautiful Yurchenko full there for Leah. A little bit of a hop on the landing, but nice extension throughout the air. It's going to be a nice solid start to put up for these Ball State Cardinals.
Somebody that Coach Salim thinks is going to have a really strong future in other events, but has been a vault specialist this year as a freshman.
Yeah, as a freshman, for her to come out on vault and just start there as well has been really solid for her, but she has great potential to come out on other events as her career follows.
This is Abby Singh now for Western Michigan on the bars.
Yeah, she's finishing up this routine. Nice handstand there to crank into these giants. She's going to dismount with a beautiful double layout. Nice stuck landing.
Next up on the vault for the Cardinals, Megan Teeter.
She's coming off a career high 9.825 last week, and she might be pushing for a new career high already.
So that's a very solid routine there, not only for her but for those Broncos to get started. It's always nice to start with a solid routine for either event. Just kind of get your event going, your meet going, and give them that energy to follow it out through.
It's Megan Teeter up next for Ball State on the vault. We highlighted her to start.
Yeah, Megan Teeter, she's, like we said, we really see her stand out on bars and floor, but she's coming in, she's worked her way into this vault lineup over her career, and she's very consistent, very clean, so she's always very reliable to put up a nice score up here.
Senior from Ohio, one of 4 seniors for Ball State today on Senior Day.
She's going to do a front handspring front pike as her vault. Nicely done there. Slight little bit of a hop on that landing, but it's very consistent, very Megan Teeter for do that vault there.
Two great starts on the vault for Ball State, with Teeter being the most recent one. And now we head over to the bars. It's Hallie Faulkner for Western Michigan.
Nice toe on. Right into a ganger. Goes up to that handstand. Right down to a bail, right to a handstand. We get ready to finish this routine. Blind full, right into a double back. A little bit of a step there, but it's very solid routine there for the Broncos.
Leah White started with a 9.775 on the vault for Ball State. Another look at Faulkner.
Yeah, she had her chest down just a little bit too much on that dismount. It's going to throw her back a little bit.
So here goes Zoe Middleton for Ball State on the vault.
Yeah, Zoe, she's another freshman that she has great potential. Once she hits a senior spot, that she can have a very good potential of an all-around. Yurchenko full, very nicely done. Twisted a little early off the table, which kind of sent her off to the side, but a very clean vault in general, though.
Coming off a career-high 9.8 last time out just 2 days ago against Missouri. Just like Leah White went 9.775 on vault. Western Michigan's opening score from Abby Singh, also a 9.775 on the bars.
And they're coming into this meet, I knew it was going to be really close head-to-head, and they're setting the bar pretty high right away.
So Danny Petrosic, the junior from Rockford, Illinois, one of 3 all-arounders today for Western Michigan, up on the bars after Megan Teeter went 9.8 on the vault for Ball State.
Nice Tkachev over that high bar. Goes right back up to a handstand. Toe on to a bail. A little bit of short there. But very clean, nice extension through all of these skills. Blind full, right to a double pike dismount. Some might argue a stick. I did see a slide of a foot, but we'll see what they give her.
Vault for the Cardinals, Suki Pfister.
So it's Suki Pfister coming up for Ball State, the junior from Fort Wayne on the vault, who scored at least a 9.85 or higher in 5 straight. And you might as well make it 6 straight.
Might as well. And honestly, judges give her a 10. Like I said earlier, she is one of 2 vaults in this lineup that has a 10.0 start value, and you can see exactly why. She's pushing it every day.
Wow, what a start there from Pfister on the vault.
She is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to this vault. She's been pushing this 10 all season long. We'll see if she hits it this season, but I can see it definitely before she graduates.
Yeah. And it's down to Catherine Roy, the sophomore from South Carolina, now over on the bars, where she scored a 9.8 or higher in 4 consecutive meets.
There's a Maloney from the low bar back up to the high bar. Nice handstand. Toe on. Nice handstand there on that bail. You can tell she just takes her time through this routine. She's very nice, very clean. Cranking into this dismount. Double layout dismount.
She tied for 6th on the bars the MAC championship a year ago with a 9.85. Another look at her dismount.
She does get a little pikey going into that first rotation, but you can see she really extends out and opens up.
Back over to the vault for Ball State now.
Yurchenko full there for Hannah Ruthberg. Hannah's one of those most powerful gymnasts that we've seen here at Ball State here in the most recent years, and she kind of struggles to find that landing a little bit, but it's always nice, clean vault there for her.
Danny Petrosic for Western Michigan just set a career high 9.9 on the bars a little bit ago. And a 9.95 for Ball State's Suki Pfister.
Rightfully deserved there.
That ties her career high. Peyton Murphy now over on the bars for Western Michigan, set the program's all-time record in the all-around last week against Northern Illinois, a 39.550.
Yeah, she's just a very clean, very consistent gymnast that comes up. Once she gets on these events, she knows exactly what she needs to do, and you're about to see why right here.
It was the MAC Gymnast of the Year 2 years ago.
Delchev there, don't see very often here in college gymnastics. Very unique release skill there. Bail down to the low bar, right up to a handstand. She's gonna finish with the blind full, toe on, front half out. Again, another unique dismount there that you don't see very often, but it's a very solid routine there for Peyton Murphy.
Victoria Henry.
What's so different about it?
The Delchev or the dismount? So the dismount, it's a little bit more blind landing. You're coming off flipping forward instead of backwards. So it's a little bit harder to control.
That was Victoria Henry on the vault for Ball State.
Nice Yurchenko, 1.5. Again, another 10-0 value there for her to build off of.
So that's the look at Ball State's scoring up before Henry's most recent vault, including that 9.95 that we talked about from Suki Pfister a little bit ago.
See the height. She does come off a little bit to the side there off of the table, but really fought for that stuck. Did have to take a step, unfortunately, but it's going to be a solid score for Victoria.
Yeah, had Ball State's only first place finish at the Missouri Quad Meet on Friday night. And now to wrap up Western Michigan's rotation on the bars, it's Sarah Moravanski. Scored a 9.85 against Ball State on the bars last year, which was her career high. Penny Jernigan calls her a standout on the bars, but she's a standout everywhere. Had Western Michigan's all-time all-around record up until last week.
Vault over mount over the low bar. Blind right into a straddle Jaeger. Right down to a shoot over. Jumps back up to that high bar. Very nice routine here. Cranks into this dismount. Beautiful double layout. Slight hop on the landing, but this is a solid routine there for Sarah, and you can see exactly why she's in that anchor spot for this bar lineup.
What a finish for Western Michigan, and Moravanski on the bars for rotation 1. This is Taylor Waldo completing an exhibition for Ball State on the vault.
Very nice for a handspring front tuck. Again, that was an exhibition, so her score won't count, but it gives her that opportunity to get out in front of a judge, get that experience.
Will be Brecken's loss.
Peyton Murphy went 9.85 on the bars for Western Michigan. Brecken Quass, a junior competing in Western Michigan's exhibition now. Last week against Northern Illinois was her first time competing since January 8th. This one, of course, won't count for a score, though, to being exhibition. You see there, Victoria Henry rounded out a 9.875 on the vault lineup for Ball State.
Nice to catch it there over the high bar there for Brecken. blind change down to a bail handstand. Blindfold to a double back dismount. Very nice routine. It's very awesome to see her back out on this competition floor after being out since January.
So a 9.875 for Moravanski to round out the Western Michigan score. One rotation in. Look how close we are. 49.225 for Western Michigan after the bars, and a 49.2 for Ball State after the vaults. Think we're going to have a good one here inside Worthen Arena today. We are extremely tight. One rotation in between the two best in the MAC. We're headed to rotation 2 after this on ESPN 3. Slightest of margins after one rotation, with Western Michigan up 49.225 to 49.2 for Ball State. Take a look back at the highlights from rotation 1, and Danny Petrosic with a new career high on the bars of 9.9.
Yeah, she came out here on this bars. It's a solid, clean routine where you can see all these handstands, nice extensions through everything. And then a beautiful double pack dismount there for her. Just gonna set her up for that nice 9.9 that she put up there for the Western Michigan.
And on the other side, Suki Pfister, the junior from Fort Wayne, tied her career high at 9.95 to start on vault.
Yeah, this 9.95 is something that's become more and more consistent for Suki, and for her to do this each and every week, it's a solid attribute to have in this vault lineup, and hoping sometime before this career is over for her that she hits this 10.0 mark.
A first-team All-MAC selection a year ago, probably well on her way to a second as we're headed to rotation 2 now. Get a look at Ball State's bars lineup. It's been pretty consistent all year long, including Megan Teeter in that 6th and final spot, the senior that we highlighted to start today. The bars and the floor is really where she stands out.
Yeah, for sure. Say Megan Teeter, even coming in as a freshman 4 years ago, she was coming in with probably the hardest skill-wise routine in the MAC when it comes to the bars. And as a senior now, she's made some upgrades, she's made some changes to where it's even only gotten harder. So for her to come up, it's really excited to see some of these things that she's doing this year.
Well, Western Michigan headed to the vault. This is the only one that they aren't first in the MAC for the highest score, but they still have a great vault lineup, including Ronnie Binstock to start things off, who scored a career-high 9.8 against Ball State a year ago.
Yeah, looking at the lineup, so it looks like it's about 50-50 with upper and lower classmen there. So as they lose some, they're going to gain some. These sophomores that are in this lineup, they're going to get this experience. They're only going to grow and get better going into next season for these Western Broncos.
Cassie St. Clair will see her 5th. She has a 9.925 as her career high. This is Ronnie Binstock to start it for the Broncos.
Nice Yurchenko full there for her. She was a little pikey coming down out of that, but nice vault to get started there for the Broncos. You can see as she comes down looking for that landing, she closes in the hips a little bit.
So Grace Sumner over on the bars now for Ball State, coming off a 9.825 Friday at Missouri.
Yeah, Grace is one of very beautiful gymnasts. You can see the lines, the extensions, pointed toes. She's just very clean whenever she gets up on these apparatuses. Bars and beam is where she really shines here on this competition floor. Toe on to a blind full, double back dismount, slightest hop, but a very nice clean start there for the Ball State Cardinals on this bar lineup.
Both Ball State and Western Michigan getting great starts to open up rotation 2. Abby Singh now.
Ooh. Yurchenko half there for Abby. Unfortunately, she was a little bit short, had to sit it down. Hopefully this is the only that Western Broncos will have to drop for this vault lineup.
On bars for Ball State, Zoe Middleton.
Looking at the vault again, you can see she comes off the table. She's just a little short coming off that block. She didn't have enough time to find that rotation, find the landing.
More than likely the score that Western Michigan will be dropping. As you see, Ronnie Binstock goes 9.775 to start for the Broncos. We go over to Zoe Middleton now on the bars, who has scored back-to-back career highs of 9.825 the last 2 meets against Bowling Green in Missouri.
Yeah, Zoe Middleton, she really stands out on bars as well. And again, she's one that even as a freshman, she's rocking it on 3 out of the 4 events. But by this time her career is over, she will be in this all-around spot for sure. It's ready for Maloney up to the high bar, right back down to a bail handstand. Blind full, double back, stuck landing. You know that 9.825 could be something that she's going to see again today.
Yep.
For Western Michigan.
Hallie Faulkner now for Western Michigan on the vault.
Yurchenko full, very nicely done. You can see that full extension that she gets as she's finishing that rotation before she finds that landing. Very nicely done, very clean.
Scored 9.8 or higher in 3 of the last 4 on the vault for the Broncos.
Nice block. You can see her flare out, like I said. Opens up the shoulders, opens up the hips, and just looks for that landing.
So Abby Singh, who fell, goes 9.125. More than likely, barring another. That'll be the score that they drop at the end. And now Grace Evans, the senior from Dallas, Georgia, on the bars, where she scored a 9.9 earlier this year for her career high.
Yeah, bars is definitely Grace's specialty. So she's made some upgrades onto her release that she does. You'll see here, she is capable of a couple of different dismounts, but we'll see which one she goes for today. Right up to a handstand. Blind to a straddled Jaeger. Connects it right down to a bail. Jumps up to the sidebar. Nicely done. Blind full. Right into a double back. Again, stuck landing. Solid routine for Grace Evans for this senior to finish out this regular conference season on these bars.
Score just flashed up. Zoe Middleton went 9.825. That's the 3rd straight meet she's done that.
Again, like I said, Zoe, she's rocking it this year as a freshman, so I'm super excited to see how she goes going forward.
Here's Peyton Murphy for Western Michigan.
Yurchenko full. Nice block off the table, nice extension in the air. Slight hop on the landing, but very nicely done for Peyton.
Scored a 9.875 on vault last week on her way to the program's all-around all-time record.
Next on bars for Ball State, Victoria Henry.
Victoria Henry now on bars for Ball State, one of 2 Cardinals competing in the all-around today.
Yeah, Victoria, she's really stepped into this all-around position in the over the last year, and she's really shown exactly what she needs to do, and she's going to be a top contender when it comes to this all-around competition next week in these MAC championships.
This is typically her lowest scoring event, but she's still very consistently around 9.8.
Very consistent, very clean. Every event that she gets up on, she knows exactly what she needs to do, and she just does it skill for skill and just rocks every routine that she hits.
Henry tied with her teammate Hannah Ruthberg for the all-time record in the all-around Ball State history at 39.4. A 9.825 for Grace Evans.
Very nicely done, very well-deserved. Looks like the judges are conferencing here on bars, holding things up a little bit.
So 3 straight 9.825s to start on the bars for Ball State from Sumner, Middleton, and Evans. And the bars, which is typically probably the worst event for Ball State. 4th highest score in the MAC this year. Everything else, they're 1st or 2nd. but off to a really good start.
For sure. So it might be their worst statistically.
Yeah.
However, when they go out there, it doesn't show.
9.825 on the vault for Peyton Murphy, making it 7 of the last 8 meets that she's gone 9.8 or higher for the Broncos.
Again, just showing exactly why she's been MAC Gymnast of the Week multiple times this season. She's top all around in the MAC as well, so she's showing exactly what she needs to.
And was first team All-MAC and the MAC Gymnast of the Year 2 years ago as a sophomore. So we got word that they're currently reviewing Grace Evans' score on the bars, which was a 9.825. We'll see if that holds up or not. So now after that long pause, here goes Victoria Henry.
Nice Maloney down to a packed salto. Kip handstand, half pirouette. Nice handstand to a toe shoot. Blind change, double front dismount. Unfortunately did have to sit that one down. A little bit too much rotation, which unfortunately that's part of the front dismount. Is blind landing, it's harder to find. A little more easier to sit that one down.
So Evans' score went from 9.825 to 9.775, but it's still being reviewed. It says Cassie St. Clair on the vault.
Sukahara tucked 1.5. Not one you see done very often, but very nicely done there for her. Round off onto the table. 1.5 rotations. Finds the landing. It's gonna be a solid score there for her.
Scored a 9.925 last week against Northern Illinois on the vault, her career high. Here's a look at the scoring for Western Michigan through the first 4, led by the 9.825 of Peyton Murphy.
Solid scores going up. Fortunately, like we did say, that 9-1 is hopefully going to be the one that they're going to drop.
Yeah. About to see Hannah Ruthberg now on the bars. One of 2 competing in the all-around. She scored 9.8 or higher in the last 4.
You're going to see some high-flying skills here from Hannah. Ray right down to a bail shoot over. A little short on that handstand, but she cranks into this dismount. Full twisting double back. Nice landing there. Slide of the foot, but we'll see if the judges give it to her.
Joanna Salim said she's really cleaned up her bars routine this year as a junior.
So yeah, Hannah, she's one that she has too much power for her own good, and it's taken some time for her to kind of hone that in and figure out what works best for her whenever on each different event.
Sarah Moravansky, the 6th and final one to go for Western Michigan on the vault.
Another Yurchenko there for Sarah, nicely done. Slight hop on the landing, a little leg separation in the air. Very nicely done. It's going to be a nice score to put up in this anchor position.
So Cassie St. Clair's score comes in at 9.825. That ties her with Murphy for team high for the moment before we get Moravansky's score. Megan Teeter, the 6th and final to go on the bars for Ball State. She's got the program's all-time record at 9.95 earlier this year.
So again, like I said earlier, she probably has the most difficult routine in the MAC conference. She's made some upgrades with different bonuses, connections that she has. She doesn't really give her much time to really stop in between anything in this routine. It's just a constant go from start to finish. She made some upgrades to her dismount. She does the same dismount as that we saw from Victoria Henry. However, she added a half turn out of that, which is giving her just even more bonus to add onto that score.
Scored a 9.825 just 2 days ago at Missouri. Scored a 9.9 a week ago today against Bowling Green. One of 4 9.9 or higher scores this year on the bars for her.
Yeah, bars has always been her event from the very start. So for her to even grow and get to this position has been really great to see from her.
Sarah Moravansky went 9.825 on the vault for Western Michigan. So the final 3 that went for the Broncos, all 9.825. Hannah Ruthberg just went 9.85 on the bars for Ball State. And now here we go with Megan Teeter.
Hops right up to that high bar. Blindfold right into a Tkachev. Probably one of the biggest Tkachevs in the MAC, straight down to a bail. Gets right back up to the high bar. Blind. And there's that front half, like I said. Chest down a little bit, had to take a hop forward, but still a very clean, very solid routine for Megan Teeter. So there's that dismount. Again, chest down, closing the hips a little bit. It's going to lead to her to step forward.
Danny Petrosic in the exhibition on the vault for Western Michigan.
And another Yurchenko there for Danny. Pikey in the air, very clean, but again, like I said, this score won't count. It just gives her that opportunity to get in front of a judge, get that experience, and prepare herself for either going into MACs or even next season.
The only routine that she doesn't compete in for a score. You'll see her on bars, beam, and floor. This is Suki Pfister now, her exhibition turn for Ball State on the bars.
Yeah, Suki's definitely going to be one that she's going to fill in these senior spots coming in next season after these seniors are gone. Maloney up to the high bar, right back down to a bail handstand. A little short on that last handstand, but she gets ready to crank into this double layout dismount. A little short on the landing, really tried to fight it, but fortunately had to put her hands down.
So halfway through, 2 rotations in, 2 to go, and a slight lead for Western Michigan, who's created a little bit of separation from Ball State after rotation 2. Rotation 1 was really close. Rotation 2 went the way of Western Michigan on the vault, and the Broncos heading into rotation 3 with a lead against Ball State. Couple score corrections at the break in the second rotation, including Grace Evans' score, who's still being looked at. But as it sits now, Ball State up 98-325 to 98-25 over Western Michigan through 2 rotations. And on the vault for the Broncos, they were led by Cassie St. Clair, her 7th straight meet with more than a 9.8, 9.825 here.
Yeah, she has this different vault that we don't see very often. It's a Sugahara tucked 1.5. Nice start value for her to get going at. She was a little short on the landing, had to take a step, But, you know, like she said, she did put up her career high of a 9.925 a couple weeks ago, but she's just chasing that after week. Then we got Megan Teeter over here on the bars. Like, again, solid performer on this apparatus, where you can see she does some high-flying skills, crazy hard dismount there with the double front half out.
It's a 9.85 for her. Her and Ruthberg leading the way with a 9.85. And now we go to rotation 3, where Ball State is on the beam, and arguably one of their best events. 4 different gymnasts competing today are all tied for the program's all-time record at 9.925 on the beam.
Yeah, this is a record that was set about 4 years ago probably, and for them to all come in and all 4 of them to set that and match it this season alone has been absolutely crazy to see from these Ball State Cardinals.
Yeah, Waldo, Volpe, Grace Evans, and Grace Sumner, all with 9.925s in their career, to be in a tie for the best all-time score in Ball State history on the beam. Western Michigan in rotation 3 is on the floor, where they are led by Peyton Murphy in that 6th and final spot, who has tied the program's all-time record at a 9.975 on floor. She's good everywhere, but this is her event.
Floor is definitely her event. She has some crazy hard skills that we're going to see, some fun dance elements. And it's just, again, a whole show that she puts on. Like you said, it's hands down her best event that we're about to see from her.
So we just got an update that Grace Evans is up to a 9.875 on her bars routine, so that puts her as the top scorer for Ball State on the bars after her score was under consideration for a long time. And there's a score correction for both her and Ruthberg. Ruthberg was bumped up to a 9.85. Grace Evans bumped up to the 9.875, so Ball State with a phenomenal rotation 2 has taken the lead with a score now of 9.8425 over Western Michigan's 9.825.
First up on beam for Ball State will be Victoria Henry.
So Victoria Henry getting us started in rotation 3 on the beam. Her career high on the beam, a 9.85 that was set earlier this year.
So beam is definitely not one of her strongest events. However, whenever she gets up, she's very confident, very consistent, and even has a couple skills that we don't see very often in NCAA gymnastics. Nice leap series, a little bit of a balance check. Did keep herself from coming down. Series here, back handspring layout, step out. Full turn. Very nicely done. This is the skill right here, gainer front toss. And then dismount here, back handspring. Laid out 1.5, nice stuck landing. Very uncharacteristically, a little wobbly up there on the beam, but you know, for her to come out, she still was very consistent, very solid on every skill that she did.
That's what gets Ball State started on the beam here in rotation 3. Sarah Morabansky on the floor for the Broncos.
did miss the first half of her routine, but let's get ready here for her last pass. Front layout punch, front full.
Sarah Moravinsky on the floor. Up for your Cardinals on balance beam will be Grace Evans.
Well, I don't know if there was any confusion or what for why both events were going at the same time. You can see in that double back that she did a little bit of short landing there, but was able to save from putting her hands down or going down to her knees.
The judge had accidentally started the floor routine first, so that was the reason. Both were going on at the same time, as now we head back over to the beam for Ball State. This is Grace Evans, who just scored a 9.875 on bars, the Cardinals' top score on bars in rotation 2.
Yeah, beam is something that Grace has worked into the lineup over the course of the years. She's made some changes over some years. She's had some injuries that's kind of kept her from being in this beam lineup. But coming in as a senior and for her to be here in this spot has been really cool to see. She's very nice, clean gymnast whenever she's up on this beam.
Grace Evans, one of 4 Ball State Cardinals who have scored a 9.925 on the beam, which ties for the program's all-time record, and one of 5 for the Cardinals going today on the beam that have scored at least a 9.9 in their career.
Starts off a routine right away with this back handspring layout step out. Balance check, but did save herself from coming down or putting her hands down, so there will not be a deduction in that aspect. Nice full turn.
Saved it again.
Side aerial. Again, very uncharacteristic for her. Is a little bit wobbly being up there today. Nice lead series. But you know, I can't blame these gymnasts. It's pretty hardcore meet that we're sitting in right now. So there's a lot that can be going through these gymnasts' heads. Nice finish to this routine with a round off 1.5. Slightest hop on the landing, but overall should be a very solid score there for Grace Evans.
It was a 9.75 to open it up on the beam for Ball State with Victoria Henry. We just saw Grace Evans, who was the second routine. This is Danny Petrosic on the floor now for Western Michigan, coming off a season best 9.875 against Northern Illinois last week.
On floor for Western Michigan will be Danny Petrosic.
Scored a 39.15 in the all-around in the MAC championships last year for a top 5 finish.
Tell you what, there's been a lot of back and forth between the judges in this meet today.
Yeah. A lot of stoppages, a lot of scores being under review, a lot of changes. And now we get the green light to go with Petrosic.
Starts off her routine with the massive round up back handspring double tuck. Nice controlled landing, huge in the air. Second pass. Front handspring, front pull, punch pull. Lead pass, a little short on the 180 on that split. Slows it down with her dance and floor work. And she prepares to go into this last pass for her. End it with a round off back handspring double pike. Again, nicely done for Danny. Very clean routine there. Just validating all these gymnasts on this floor exercise for the Western Michigan Broncos.
Has scored 9-8 or higher in 5 straight meets on the floor. Coming off a career best 9.875 just a week ago against Northern Illinois. This is Hannah Ruthberg, the junior from North Carolina, on the beam for the Cardinals. Scored a career best 9-9 Friday night at Missouri.
Again, she has a very skill-packed routine, starting off with the back handspring layout, step out, right back into a back handspring. Small balance check. I'll tell you what though, every time Hannah gets up on this beam, she just shows her confidence in everything that she does.
One of 2 Cardinals competing in the all-around today, but beam is her event for sure.
Absolutely. Split leap, right into a pike jump. Small hesitation in between that connection. She gets ready for the dismount. Cartwheel, gainer full, right off the side of the beam to a stuck landing. Very clean, very well done for Hannah Ruthberg.
On floor for Western Michigan, Ronnie Benstock.
So Ronnie Benstock now on the floor for Western Michigan, coming off her career best 9.925 last week against Bowling Green.
Gets ready for her first pass. First pass. Front handspring, punch Rudy, punch back full. Very interesting combo that we don't see at all. So she's going to definitely racking up those bonuses there on that pass.
Penny Jernigan, her head coach, called it an extraordinary first pass, and she said just sit back and watch because she's exciting on the floor.
Yeah, for sure. She really shows her personality throughout this dance and this whole routine.
Scored a 9-9 at the MAC championships on the floor a year ago.
She's ready for her next pass. Round off back handspring, double pike, stuck landing, did not move at all. Again, this is going to be a very great score there for Ronnie Benstock on this floor exercise.
Might we be on our way to back-to-back career highs for her?
100%, I can see it for sure.
On beam, Ball State, Grace Sumner.
So a great floor routine from Benstock.
She was excited about it. Teammates were excited. And even her in the background, the fans there for Western were super excited for it as well.
Sends us back over to the beam with Grace Sumner. Tied Ball State's all-time record with a 9.925 at the Ball State quad meet back in January. And coming off a 9-9 Friday night against Missouri, just the second time she's done that in her career. Just saw the judges flash a 9-9 for Ronnie Binstock's floor routine.
Very well deserved for sure.
So not quite that 9.925 she had last week for a career high, but Broncos will certainly take that 9-9 from Binstock.
9-9 is definitely something you want to take either way, for sure. Grace Sumner over here on beam. Again, like I said, just very clean gymnast. You can see, shows off her lines, her distinction through everything that she does, and she really shows it off on beam here. Aerial back handspring for a series. Front aerial, right to a beat jump. Split lead to a split jump. Nice full turn. All she has left is this dismount there for Grace. Round off 1.5, stuck landing. Probably one of the better routines I've seen from Grace Sumner. It's going to be a very good score for her.
They started on floor a little early again. This is Donna Catherine Roy for Western Michigan.
Finishes with the tuck through, round off back handspring, double back.
We missed earlier, so we're going to get a look back at her first pass.
First pass, round off back handspring, full in. Feet did not move a single bit. Could argue chest down a little bit, but very great pass to start off that routine there.
The top floor score in the MAC, Western Michigan. This year, they shine on the floor. Coach Jernigan told us it is by far their best routine.
So as of right now, they've done nothing but prove that for us for sure.
Two teams in the final week of the regular season getting ready to go for the MAC championships next Saturday. Top two teams in the MAC, as you see Danny Petrosic with a 9.875 on the floor for Western Michigan. And then Ronnie Binstock, we mentioned the 9.9 she had, making it 3 straight meets. She scored a 9.9 or higher. This is Lauren Volpe on the beam. The only time we'll see her, she's a beam specialist, where she's tied the all-time record in Ball State history with a 9.925.
Yeah, Lauren Volpe, she's a 5th-year senior, came back using that COVID year that all these gymnasts got. Like you said, beam specialist, and she's going to show off for sure. She's made some upgrades over the last year to kind of help build that bonus, build the score. But whenever she gets up here, she just gets down and shows off. Side aerial to beat jump. She gets ready for her series right here. Back handspring, layout, step out. solid series. Small grin that you see from her. She's proud of what she's doing so far.
Saw Grace Sumner's 9-9 to lead the way for Ball State so far.
Beat jump to a split 3/4. All she has left is this dismount left. Stick this landing, Lauren, and it's going to be a solid score for you. Gainer laid out full. Slightest of hops. But very clean, very well done for Lauren Volpe on her senior night here.
The 5th-year senior competing for her last time in Worthen and going out with a bang. It's Cassie St. Clair now on the floor for Western Michigan. Scored just a 9.675 against NIU last week, but 3 straight 9-0s prior.
Very nice opening pass there. Some fun floor music, fun dance. You know, this event is really the opportunity for these girls to show themselves off, show off their personality. Just be able to put a good show on for everybody that's here to watch. Leap series there was a little short there on that first leap. Gets ready for her last pass here. She's gonna end with a punch. Double full, massive double full in the air. Very nicely done. Typically this is a pass that you see somebody open their routine with, but for her to have enough power, it's endurance to finish it off is such a great attribute to have.
Now on balance beat for Ball State, Taylor Waldo.
First time we're seeing Taylor Waldo today. We'll also see her on floor in a little bit. But she has tied Ball State's all-time record on the beam 3 times this year with a 9.925.
Yeah, she is considered the beam queen here at Ball State. Gets ready for her series. Front aerial right into a front handspring. Taylor's been in this position for a majority of her career. So for her to come out week after week and just do exactly what she knows how to has been a great attribute and leader as part of the team. Finishes this dismount. Tucked 1.5, stuck landing. She's happy with that routine, team is happy. Great way to go out with a bang on this event for Taylor Waldo.
One of 4 seniors on senior day today for Ball State. Her last time competing on the beam in Worthen Arena. It's Peyton Murphy getting ready to go on the floor for Western Michigan. Something rare about her, she does not do any back handsprings during her floor routine because during her freshman year on a bars routine, broke her neck in 3 spots. She came back 2 years later and was the MAC Gymnast of the Year. Who does that?
Peyton Murphy, apparently. And she's done nothing but show exactly what she needs to. And then, yeah, like you said, 3 different spots she had a broken neck. Which actually gave her an extra year of eligibility, and so she'll be coming back for a 5th year next year. So she won't be recognized as a senior tonight because she's not done yet. So, but floor is definitely where she shines. Tuck through to a round off double back.
Penny Jernigan called her the best all-arounder Western Michigan has ever had. Set the program record last time out with a 39.55 in the all-arounds.
Floor is definitely where she shines as well, where last week she went 9.975 on her floor. Next pass, punch Rudy to a straddle jump. All she has is her last pass left here. She finished with a round off double pike. Nice controlled step there.
What a finish on the floor for Western Michigan, who already has 2 scores of 9.9 or higher on the floor today.
After that routine, we're gonna have 3.
She scored 9.9 or higher in 6 consecutive meets. This is Megan Teeter competing exhibition now on the vault, or on the beam rather, for Ball State.
Yeah, getting this exhibition spot as a senior, just giving her that opportunity one last time to compete on this beam in Worthern Arena. Backhand spring layout step out. In previous years, Megan has been in this lineup, but due to some other reasons, she's fallen out of the spot. But you know what? She's given her spot on everywhere else, so we're just going to put her where we need her, but allow her to have her farewell on this apparatus here in Worthen today.
It just flashed the scores up a little bit ago, but 2 9.9s on the beam for Ball State today. Grace Sumner and Taylor Waldo, who we saw most recently.
Amanda Gruber now on floor for Western Michigan.
This is Amanda Gruber. First time we're seeing her today, the exhibition on the floor.
Gets ready for her first pass. Punch layout, punch Rudy. Some fun dance that she has going on. Got her team all in on it with her as well. Next pass, round off back handspring, double tuck.
Amanda Gruber on the exhibition floor for Western Michigan.
Very nice routine there for Amanda. Hopefully she can make her way into this lineup come next season. I know as of right now, most of these teams are not going to try to make any changes going into conference championship. But again, like I've said, it just gives her that experience, gives her that opportunity to find that spot for next year when she comes back.
What a finish we've got coming up inside Worthen Arena. Just a 1/10 of a point separates Western Michigan and Ball State heading to rotation number 4. A MAC regular season title on the line between the 2 best in the Mid-American Conference, with rotation 4 coming up next. Just a 1/10 of a point separates Western Michigan and Ball State heading to the 4th and final rotation with a regular season MAC title up for grabs between the two best in the conference. We just got done with rotation 3, where Ronnie Binstock, for the 3rd time in the last 4 meets, Aaron, scored a 9-9 or higher on the floor.
Yeah, she opened up this routine with a front handspring, punch Rudy, and then punch back full, excuse me. Probably one of the most difficult and craziest opening passes that you'll see in NCAA gymnastics. Solid double pike where she did not move an inch on that pass, where she just came out, she showed exactly what she needs to, and she showed off her skills and her personality on this event.
Her and Cassie St. Clair both scoring 9-9 on the floor for Western Michigan. Ball State had 2 gymnasts scoring 9-9 on the beam, including Taylor Waldo.
Yeah, Taylor Waldo, this senior, she comes in. Beam is where she stands out for sure, and she's done exactly what she needs to. She came out, hit her skills, stuck that dismount, and, you know, just put up a solid score for not only for herself, but for also these Cardinals.
Grace Sumner also with a 9-9 for Ball State on the beam. And we go into the 4th and final rotation. Here's a look at Western Michigan on the beam, a spot they thrive in, the highest score in the MAC this season with a team total of 49,375.
Yeah, these Western Michigan Broncos, beam is exactly where they are. They come out, they hit their routines, they have the hard skills, but most importantly, they're clean, they're consistent, and they just go up and do exactly what they're supposed to.
They'll get started with Ronnie Binstock, who's coming off a career best 9.925. Most recently, here's Ball State on the floor. Couple all-arounders for the Cardinals. They get started with the junior Hannah Ruthberg.
Yeah, this floor lineup, floor is definitely their event where they like to come out here, have fun. The Ball State Cardinals, they consider it their dance party. So they come out here and they put on a show for the fans that are here and for the fans that are watching at home.
For rotation 4, we'll have Western Michigan on balance beam.
The final day of the regular season, the MAC championships just 6 days away. These are the top 2 teams in the MAC, and going to the 4th and final rotation, we're separated by just a 1/10 of a point for the MAC regular season title up for grabs, and Ronnie Binstock gets us started on the beam for Western Michigan.
Beat jump to a straddled 3/4. Gets ready for her series here. Back handspring layout, step out. Solid on that landing. Full turn, one of those requirements in a beam routine. Dismount left here for, oh, excuse me. After the split, switch leap half. Now she gets ready for that dismount, round off 1.5. Small hop on that landing, but nice position there to get started on this beam routine for the Western Broncos.
Good start on the beam from Ronnie Binstock to get the Broncos going. We now get a look at Hannah Ruthberg on the floor. She's coming off tying the program record in the all-around most recent timeout.
Opens up with the front tuck through, round off back handspring, double tuck, nice controlled landing. This is the event that Hannah really likes to show off and have fun.
Scored a 9.9 2 years ago on the floor at the MAC championships, where she was the runner-up.
Second pass here, round off back handspring, double pike. Hannah likes to get her teammates, judges, even the crowd, all involved in this routine. Just have a good time overall. Gets ready for her last pass. Front handspring, Rudy, straddle jump. Very nice routine for Hannah Ruthberg. Setting the tone for this apparatus for the Ball State Cardinals as they wrap up this event.
For Western Michigan.
And she gets the Cardinals started on the floor. This is Danny Petrosic now on the beam for Western Michigan, one of 3 all-arounders competing today for the Broncos.
Yeah, she got started on this beam routine with the beautiful whoop full turn. Back handspring layout, step out for her series. Aerial to beat jump.
Just saw the score flash up there at 9-9 for Ronnie Benstock to get started on the beam for Western Michigan. Phenomenal start for the Broncos.
Great start. A little short on that full, tucked full. But you know, while she's been up here, she's been confident. She's just holding her own. Finishes up with a punch, one in a front full, stuck landing. Again, this is going to be another great routine for the Broncos to put up.
The 9-9 for Benstock, a new career high on the beam. You get another one from Petrosic here as well. It's Taylor Waldo on the floor for Ball State. She just scored a 9-9 on the beam last rotation.
Very fun routine coming up. You'll see in her routine, she does not do any back tumbling at all. She only does front tumbling. Punch double full. A little extra energy coming out of that landing. Nice sweet pass there from Taylor Waldo. She settles into the corner, gets ready for her second pass. Do punch full, punch layout, right into a punch front tuck. Standing back tuck. Last pass left there, here for Taylor Waldo. She finishes up. Punch Rudy. Very nicely done for Taylor Waldo as she wraps up her career here in Worthern Arena.
One of 4 seniors for Ball State here on Senior Day. The great floor routine to end her career.
The second pass there, like I said, punch full, punch layout, right into a punch tuck. Definitely getting those acro bonus in series.
Gigi Singh now on the beam for Western Michigan, the twin sister of Abby Singh, who we saw just a little bit ago, but she's clicking at the right time. Back-to-back career high 9.825s the last 2 meets.
Yeah, 9.825 beam is definitely where she shines. You're about to see right here with this back handspring layout, or back handspring layout, step back, excuse me. Spoke a little too soon. Dropped her shoulders a little bit coming out of that layout, so it's going to cause her to lean over, fall off that beam, unfortunately. Beat jump to a straddle 3/4, and unfortunately had to come down again.
The score you got to imagine Western Michigan will be dropping here on the beam.
Finishing strong though, dismount left. Gainer pike, dismount. Unfortunately not the routine that she would have liked to have, but overall nicely done there for her, for Gigi.
It's been a really good start on the beam despite that one. Back-to-back career highs for the first 2. Benstock a 9.9 and Petrosic a 9.8. This is Zoe Middleton on the floor for Ball State.
Opens up with a front layout. Punch Rudy just right into a straddle jump. switch leap right into a split full. Punch split full. Nice extension through those legs. Just his last pass left for Zoe. Finishes off with a round-off back handspring double pike. Stuck landing, chest down just a little bit. But Zoe came out and did exactly what she needed to for these Ball State Cardinals, for sure.
Good routine from Middleton for Ball State. Moves us back over to the beam. This is Sarah Moravansky, where she thrives on the beam, coming off a career high 9.9 last time out.
Well, she's gonna get started with this routine with her series here. Back handspring, layout, step out. Solid landing, was not moving an inch on that. Switch leap right into a standing layout. Step out. Little bob on that full turn. Round off 1.5, dismount, stuck landing.
Western Michigan is always good on the beam, but they've been phenomenal today.
They've been solid out there today. Like you said, they're one of the top ones for sure in the MAC conference on this apparatus, and they're doing exactly that, just showing exactly why.
Victoria Henry getting ready to go on the floor. She tied the program's all-time record in the all-around just 2 days ago at the Missouri Quad Meet with a 39.4. Was the runner-up on the floor at the MAC Championships a year ago with a 9.9.
Yeah, Victoria has some high-flying, powerful skills that she's about to show off here for us. Opens up with the front through, round off back handspring, double tuck. Having some fun with her teammates. Punch layout, punch full. A little off to the side on that landing. Standing tuck right down. Leap pass to get herself into this corner for her next pass. Final pass, I should say. Round off back handspring, double pike. Solid landing. And of course, us in the routine with a little fun with the music.
Fun floor routine from Victoria Henry, who's been great on the floor all year long. Amanda Gruber on the beam for Western Michigan. This is where she thrives. A 9.95 on beam earlier this year, tied for the highest score in the MAC.
Starts off with his full turn. Back handspring, layout, step out. I can tell you what, right away, you can tell she's comfortable up there on that beam.
She finished 9th at the Auburn Regional last year. Top 8 make it to Nationals, and Penny Jernigan said she has used that as motivation all year long this year.
So she's chasing after it. She wants that MAC Conference Championship as well. Split jump to straddle quarter. Dismounts to round off 1.5. Small hop on the landing, a little pikey coming out of it. But that was a very solid routine there for Amanda as she finishes up here for the Western Michigan.
On floor for Ball State, Suki
Scored a 9.9 at the MAC Championships a year ago, was runner-up. She's got the highest score this season, just 6 days away from the MAC Championships at Kent State next Saturday. Now look at Suki Pfister, who just scored a 9.95 in vault earlier today. She scored a 9.95 on floor earlier this year, the program's all-time record.
So she's definitely a tumbler for sure, and you're going to see exactly why here in just a second with this opening pass. Opens up with a round off back handspring, massive double tuck. Easily walk underneath her while she's up in that air.
First team All-MAC a year ago, was also the MAC specialist as a sophomore.
Nice leap series. Full extension on all those leaps. She works her way to her corner for her second pass here. Front handspring, front full, right into a punch pike. Tell you what, she's not giving up any deductions on these landings for sure. All she has left is this last pass. Finishes with a round off back handspring double pike. A little short, did have to step forward. But I won't lie, that would be the only thing I would take on this routine.
What a routine from Suki Pfister.
Murphy.
So heading over to the beam, this is Peyton Murphy. She was the champion last year at the MAC on the beam. Has the all-time record in the all-around for Western Michigan with a 39.55 just last week against NIU.
Pike's front toss connected right into a split jump. Not very often that you see a piked front toss, but she does it absolutely beautifully. Draper series, back handspring layout, step out. She's happy with what she's doing up there. Beat jump to a ring. She's taking her time up there. She's just going through skill after skill. Finishes with a gainer full, stuck dismount. Absolutely gorgeous routine for Peyton Murphy as she rounds out this event here at Ball State.
What a way to finish it for Western Michigan on the beam.
Gonna be a very good score there for Peyton.
The last routine for a score today, Megan Teeter on the floor, was runner-up at the MAC Championships a year ago with a 9.9.
Yeah, runner-up last year, currently tied 6th in the MAC conference. Opens up with a front layout, punch Rudy. I know I've said these Ball State Cardinals like to have fun, but Megan Teeter really comes out here and she shows it off for sure. Second pass, round off back handspring, double tuck. She's giving us all the attitude, the sass. Ready for elite pass. Last pass here for Megan Teeter. Ended off with a punch front full right into a layout. Dances out of that landing.
A great finish for Megan Teeter, the senior, on her senior day here inside Worthen Arena.
Megan Teeter, she went out with a bang for sure. This is going to be a routine that she's going to be proud of. Very solid score for her that's going to come up here.
An emotional last routine ever inside Worthen Arena. Josie Thomas, only time we've seen her today is she's competing exhibition on the beam.
Back handspring layout, step out there for a series. A little bit of a wobble. Full turn.
Just saw the Peyton Murphy score flash up there, the last routine on beam for Western Michigan with a 9.925 to lead the way for the Broncos. Her and Ronnie Binstock, who started it, scoring at least a 9.9 or higher.
So looking at these scores for Western Michigan on beam, they, again, like I said, they are exactly showing why they're #1 in the MAC on this apparatus.
49.375, the highest score in the MAC this season for a team total.
It's a very nice routine there for Thomas.
Now on floor for Ball State, Grace Evans.
The last routine, the exhibition on the floor for Ball State, Grace Evans.
Again, another senior that's out here, allowing her to have her last hurrah on this floor exercise here in Worthen Arena before this regular season ends. Nice opening pass, round off double pike. Lead pass.
So there's the senior Grace Evans finishing up with the exhibition. See the scores in your bottom right corner. We're waiting to see if there are any score changes or anything like that, but for unofficial right now, Western Michigan gets it done with a 196.95 over Ball State's 196.9. A phenomenal regular season finale between the two best in the MAC. We'll be back to wrap it up, give you any score changes, give you the official final score when we have it here inside Worthen Arena.
Let's meet our MVPs from today's meet. For Western Michigan, Peyton Murphy. And for your Ball State Cardinals, Taylor Waldo.
Just finished up here inside Worthen Arena, and what a phenomenal meet we had. Western Michigan winning it with a narrow margin, 196.95 over Ball State's 196.9. A team all-time record, by the way, but just wasn't quite enough today. Well, in rotation 4, let's start on the Western Michigan side of things. On the beam, Peyton Murphy with a 9.925 really sealed the deal for the Broncos.
Yeah, Peyton Murphy, she came out today, like you said, sealed the deal with that 9.925 on beam. But not only did beam she stand out, she stood out across the whole floor on all 4 events as well. You can see she finishes with that standing gainer layout full, stuck landing to just really tie it off for her in this competition.
The senior Megan Teeter on the floor for Ball State, also a 9.925 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Megan Teeter, she came out, she showed off. She did exactly what she needed to do, not only on floor with this 9.925, but all of her other events where she competed on vault and bars as well today as well.
Well, those were the 2 gymnasts that we spotlighted to start the meet today, and man, did both of them deliver with some great scores. Peyton Murphy leading the way in the all-around, her second highest score ever with a 39.475.
Yeah, Peyton Murphy, like I said, she's doing exactly what she needs to. She's proving why she's been MAC all-around, or Gymnast of the Week multiple times, and the highest in all-around in the MAC conference as well.
Megan Teeter tying her career high on the floor with a 9.925. Didn't compete on beam, but went 9.8 on vault, 9.85 on bars today here inside Worthen Arena, and a phenomenal final meet of the regular season. This was for the MAC regular season title. Ball State could have won it outright. Western Michigan instead a tie for first, so both teams win the regular season MAC title heading into the MAC championships in 6 days. And despite a 196.9, the all-time record for team score for Ball State, it just wasn't quite enough today to beat Western Michigan's 196.95.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough for them to get that overall win in the conference regular season. But, you know, for them to come out here and set that record again for a program is really awesome to see for them.
Yeah, that 196.95 from Western Michigan, that's the second highest score in program history, behind only the 197.1 that they scored 8 days ago against Northern Illinois. It was a phenomenal day of gymnastics here inside Worthen Arena. The 2 best teams in the Mid-American Conference proved it. Great final here from Worthen Arena, with Western Michigan winning at 196.95 to 196.9 over Ball State. MAC championships coming up in just 6 days from Kent, Ohio, where these 2 will square off and try to punch their ticket to the regionals by being a top 36 team in the country. For Eric Perrin, our director, our producer, Alex Seitz, our director, for Aaron Jessup and the rest of our great ESPN3 crew, I'm Noah Reed saying so long from Muncie, where Western Michigan ties for a MAC title.
For career highs.